This Sullivan's Crossing plot hole needs to be addressed in season 4. Okay, tell me I'm not losing my mind here, because every time I rewatch Sullivan's Crossing, one massive, glaring detail keeps eating away at me, and no one is talking about it. Have you ever had that moment where you're watching a show, you're completely hooked, you're in the emotional drama, and then suddenly your brain goes, wait, how are they even paying for that? Yeah, that's me with Sully. Every single season. And the kicker, by season 3 the writers just acted like the problem magically disappeared. Poof, vanished. Like we were supposed to just forget it ever happened. But you and I, we don't forget, we obsess. Here's the truth bomb. Sullivan's Crossing has a financial plot hole, so big you could drive Timberlake's food truck through it. And if season 4 doesn't finally address it, this series risks breaking its own believability. Think about it. Since season 1, Sully's been drowning in money problems. He's late on mortgage payments, the campground is one step away from foreclosure, and half the time he can't even afford his own repairs. Season 2 made this a huge storyline. Remember when Sully's drinking and memory lapses literally caused him to forget his payments, leading to an auction of the crossing? That was intense, right? Emotional, powerful, heartbreaking, the kind of grounded storytelling that gave this show its weight. And then, here's where I start losing it. Season 3 basically shrugged and said, don't worry about it, let's go back to Maggie's love life. Like, excuse me, the entire crossing was one court order away from being gone forever, and now suddenly it's just thriving. Open, running like nothing ever happened. Here's the thing. If you ignore this plot hole, the entire foundation of Sully's character starts to crack. Sully is defined by sacrifice. He gives more than he takes. He's the man who would give away his last meal, his last dime, his last ounce of energy to help someone else. And that's beautiful. That's what makes him one of the most lovable TV dads in small-town drama history. But let me hit you with the forbidden knowledge. When a character like Sully is written this way, the show needs financial tension to balance him. Otherwise, his selflessness turns from inspiring into completely unrealistic. Because here's the cold truth. People who live like Sully don't magically stay afloat without consequences. So, let me ask you, are we supposed to believe that Timberlake's fundraiser, one moment of communal generosity, suddenly solved years of financial instability? Really? No follow-up payments, no taxes, no upkeep costs, no ripple effects from years of neglect. If that's true, then sign me up for small-town magic because apparently Timberlake is sitting on billionaire-level secret savings. And here's where I need you, because this is the part that keeps me up at night. What if season 4 tries to sweep this under the rug permanently? Imagine the writers never mention Sully's debts again. Imagine the crossing just becomes a mystical place that funds itself out of thin air. Wouldn't that cheapen everything Sully has been through? Doesn't it undermine the grit, the realism, the entire soul of the show? Now here's a wild theory. And I know some of you are going to roast me in the comments for this. But what if Glenn's condo conservation deal is actually setting up a huge betrayal? The show has quietly hinted that Sully leaned on Glenn's offer to help out financially. But let's think critically. Glenn isn't exactly Mr. Selfless. He's a businessman. If there's one forbidden truth TV has taught us, it's this: businessmen don't give without expecting something in return. So what if this entire plot hole is deliberate? What if Sully's financial miracle is secretly a setup for season 4's downfall? And let me pause right here to say, this is why I love making videos with you guys, because every time we dig into these so-called plot holes, we discover hidden storytelling patterns the casual viewer misses. And trust me, you're gonna want to subscribe right now to break down Epic, so you never miss the next time we pull on a loose thread and unravel an entire season. Alright, let's circle back, because I know some of you are probably yelling at your screen, Sophia, relax. Timberlake saved the crossing, what more do you want? And yeah, sure, that was a feel-good moment. But here's where I get stubborn. Timberlake raising money was a band-aid, not a cure. A band-aid doesn't stop the disease. And Sully's financial habits, his overspending, his constant generosity, his refusal to put himself first, haven't changed. If anything, they've gotten worse. And that's why I'm saying this plot hole isn't just a nitpick. It's the heartbeat of Sully's entire arc. If the writers ignore it, then everything about his character, from his alcoholism recovery to his father-daughter reconciliation with Maggie, loses its teeth. Because what's the point of redemption if there are no stakes left? So let me throw this question out to you guys, because I seriously want to know, if you were writing season 4, how would you fix this? Would you double down on Glenn's shady business deal? Would you reveal another debt crisis that forces Sully and Maggie to confront reality together? Or would you keep the magic alive and let Timberlake as one-time save cover everything forever? Drop your theory in the comments, because I'm going to pin the wildest one. And while you're thinking about it, remember when we broke down the insane season 3 finale twist with Maggie's surprise husband, Liam? Yeah, if the writers were willing to throw that curveball at us, then trust me, they're capable of rewriting Sully's finances in ways we can't even predict. Here's the scary thought. What if Liam's return and Sully's financial plot hole are actually connected? What if the writers plan to tie these threads together in a massive reveal about ownership of the crossing? I'm telling you, it sounds wild, but doesn't it make a little too much sense? Okay, so here's where my brain really starts to spiral, because the more I think about this so-called resolved financial crisis. The more I realize, it was never actually resolved. It was swept under the rug, like a messy secret the writers hope we'd all forget. But if you know me, you know I'm the kind of person who remembers every breadcrumb, every half-baked line of dialogue, every suspicious cutaway. And this one, it's screaming at us. Let me ask you something. Imagine your mortgage was on the brink of foreclosure, your entire livelihood was about to be ripped away, and then suddenly your neighbors pitched in and covered it once. Would you honestly sleep peacefully at night? Or would you live every day with a gut punch fear that the next bill, the next slip up, the next bad month, could send you right back into the fire? Because Sully, he doesn't act like a man who just narrowly escaped financial ruin. He acts like it never happened at all. And that's dangerous writing. Because Sully's finances aren't just about money, they're about his soul. His entire redemption arc is tied to accountability. His drinking, his memory lapses, his estrangement from Maggie, all of it comes back to one central theme: what happens when you run from responsibility. That's why Season 2's auction storyline hit so hard. It forced Sully to confront reality. But now it's like he got a free pass. And you know what? I don't buy it. Here's a forbidden piece of knowledge that makes this even messier in TV writing. Unresolved plot holes like this often mean one of two things. Either the writers got lazy, yep, I said it, or they're planting seeds for a bigger payoff later. And trust me, if it's the second one, then Season 4 might finally weaponize Sully's finances as the ultimate breaking point. But here's the crazy theory that hit me at 2 a.m. What if the crossing doesn't even belong to Sully anymore? Think about it. Timberlake pulled the money to save it. Glenn offered financial assistance. Deals were whispered in the background. What if Sully isn't the true owner anymore, but the town is just letting him believe he is out of pity? Imagine the heartbreak if Season 4 drops that bombshell, that the land he's devoted his life to isn't even his. That's not just drama, that's devastation. And tell me you wouldn't cry watching Maggie realize her father's entire identity was built on an illusion. That's the kind of raw, painful drama Sullivan's Crossing thrives on. That's the kind of storytelling that gets people tweeting, ranting, binging, and yes, making videos like this one at 3 in the morning. Now let's play a little what if. Humor me for a second. What if Season 4 ignores this plot hole again? What if they decide it's not worth addressing? Would you still watch? Be honest. Drop a yes or no in the comments. Because here's my take. I love this show, but if they bury this issue forever, it risks turning into the kind of drama that coasts on surface level romance while hollowing out its emotional core. And for me, that's unforgivable. And hey, maybe I'm overthinking it. Maybe I'm the only lunatic who tracks mortgage payments in a fictional TV drama. Maybe you guys are just here for Cal's dimples and Maggie's endless, will they, won't they, cycles. Fair enough. I get it. But Kimon, don't you secretly love that I obsess over this stuff so you don't have to? I'm like that one friend who won't let plot holes slide at movie night. You roll your eyes, you groan, but deep down you're glad I said it. By the way, remember when I roasted the Season 3 finale for introducing Liam out of nowhere and completely breaking Maggie's character logic? Yeah, same energy here. Because if that made you slam your remote down in frustration, then you know exactly why Sully's financial limbo deserves just as much outrage. And listen, I've seen your comments. Some of you are already predicting that Season 4 will finally hit Sully where it hurts. Maybe even force Maggie to choose between Cal and her father when the crossing's survival is back on the line. If that happens, just know this: we called it here first, and I will absolutely gloat about it in the next video. Consider this your official spoiler-free prophecy. But let's take this even further. What if Sully's financial mess is the real ticking time bomb of the series? Not Maggie's relationships, not Liam, not even Cal. Think about it. Everything revolves around the crossing. It's the show's namesake. If the crossing falls, so does the entire premise. Which means the writers can't afford to leave this dangling forever. They have to cash it in. The only question is, will they do it in a way that feels earned, or will they sweep it aside with another miracle fix? Alright, your turn. Imagine you're sitting in the writer's room for Sullivan's Crossing Season 4. You've got one shot to fix Sully's plot hole. Do you? A. Reveal that Glenn's deal comes with strings attached. B. Drop the bomb that Sully no longer owns the crossing. C. Expose a new layer of debt that even Timberlake can't save. Or D. Pretend nothing's wrong and let the campground magically thrive forever. Vote in the comments right now. I'm dying to see which one wins. Personally, I'm praying for option B. Give me heartbreak. Give me tragedy. Give me Maggie screaming, Sully breaking down, Cal trying to hold the family together. That's the kind of high-stakes, gut-punch storytelling that cements a show's legacy. And if you think I'm being dramatic, well, guilty as charged. But hey, that's the point of this channel. We dig, we rant, we laugh at our own obsession, and we refuse to let lazy writing slide. Because if we don't call it out, who will? So let's end with this: Sullivan's Crossing has one last chance to make this right. Season 4 must address Sully's financial mystery, or the show risks losing the very realism that made it special. And you better believe I'll be right here with you, breaking down every twist, every betrayal, every single breadcrumb the writers throw at us. Until then, keep those theories wild, keep those comments coming, and remember, if Timberlake can save the crossing with pocket change, Maybe we can save Sullivan's Crossing by refusing to let the plot holes slide. This is Sophia from Breakdown Epic signing off, and if Sully magically buys a yacht in season 4, just know, I called it.